Welcome back to Decked Out.
Today, we have a very special episode for you. We're going to be doing an early access Murders at Karlov Manor with Daniel Holt, one of the senior game designers at Wizards of the Coast who specifically worked on these Precon decks.
As always, thank you to our sponsors, Coolstuffinc, Ultimate Guard, and Moxfield. We welcome Moxfield to as one of our regular sponsors. We always build all of our decks and share them with you via Moxfield, and so now you'll see them integrated even more into all of our content.
We'd also like to give a special shout out to Wizards of the Coast and the Ambassador Program for making these early access videos possible. Without their help, we wouldn't get to make cool content like this for you. But that's enough from us. Let's go ahead and meet the players.
Hi, I'm Daniel Holt from Wizards of the Coast. I'm a senior game designer, and I worked on the game design team for Murders of Karlov Manor Commander decks, which we're playing today, the Precons. I led the design for Cost, Eyes of the Glade. This deck is all about face-down, tricky creatures. They're all 2/2s, but they could be something a lot more scary when they turn face up.
I'm MTGNerdGirl, and today I am fortunate enough to get to play Mirko, Obsessive Theorist. My deck is going to be reanimating a bunch of creatures. I can also surveil to make sure I put them in my graveyard quicker and get a bunch of value out on the board for free.
Greetings, Gumshoes. I'm AirballMTG, and today I'm playing Morska Undersea Sleuth. This deck is all about drawing 2 cards per turn and making a bunch of clues to enable you to do just that. But more importantly, we're in a mystery-solving mode here. I grew up reading the Hardy Boys. I grew up watching Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, reading Sherlock Holmes. I am so excited to get into this world.
You're Veggiewagon. I'm Veggiewagon, and I'm going to be playing Nelly Borka, Impulsive Accuser. I'm going to suspect everyone's creatures, make it very hard to attack me, and if anybody does decide to do so, I've got a surprise waiting for them.
Thanks to our new sponsor, Moxfield, all of our deck lists that you see featured here on the show can be found on our Moxfield account. There's a link in the description, and every single deck we've played with every single player, you can find all 36 episodes on that Moxfield account. And you can support us by giving us a follow there as well. And to celebrate this new sponsorship, we're going to be doing a community deck list game where we take decks submitted by you, our viewer, in our Discord. You can submit anything you'd like, and we will pick 4 decks. Veggie, what are you looking for when you're picking winners here?
We are looking for all kinds of different things, a wide range, whether that is Commander Classics with a twist or totally unique builds, and it's on any budget, any power level. So if you've got a deck that you think is cool and you'd like to see featured on the show, do it. Submit.
All right, that's enough from us. Let's go ahead and get into the game. Let's see who goes first. 5.
11.
15.
Not last, I'll take it.
And I'll draw a card, and I will play a mountain and pass.
I will also play a mountain with this exotic orchard and pass.
Swamp, pass. Can we get away from the Soul Ring?
You can. We're just going to play Island Go.
Fair
Nice.
magic.
Very good of you to hold back that soul ring. I will play plains. I'll pay 2 for a Felwar Stone. So now I also have a mountain. Pass.
Draw for turn. I'll play this Gruul Turf, tapped, returning the exotic orchard. I will go to discard at the end of my turn.
Oh.
I think I'll discard a Kessig Wolf Run. Don't worry about that.
All right, I'm going to go Island, and I'll also join the ramp with Veggie and play a Thought Vessel. I have no maximum hand size. Pass.
I'll play this Sungrass Prairie Filterland and pay 2 for a Simic Signet, and I'll pass.
All right, this is very helpful that you all have played creatures for my commander that wants you to have creatures. I'll play Labyrinth of Skophos. I can pay 4 and tap it to remove an attacking or blocking creature from combat. It's Maze of Don't keep that.
That was good, though.
We have Maze of It at home.
Right.
The only joke of yours I thought was funny. You want to cut?
Yeah. Oh, yes. In anticipation of you all having more stuff than me, I'm going to pay 4 for Keeper of the Accord. It's a 3/4 at the beginning of each of your end steps. If you control more creatures than me, I make a 1/1 soldier. And at your end step, if you control more lands than I do, then I get to search for a plains and put it in tapped.
You really shouldn't have gone first.
Pass the turn.
I'm doing my best to not have more lands than you.
Right.
All right, I will play that exotic orchard again. I wish you had played a green land earlier because I did have the turn 1 Obscuring Aether. This is really strong in my deck because it says face down creature spells I cast cost 1 less to cast, which I will be doing quite a bit in this deck, I hope. and then I can turn it face down. Then for 2 mana, I will play this creature face down morphed. So this is a 2/2 creature for now, but it could be anything.
Ooh.
Okay. Moment of truth. Can I find my land drop? So we're going to tap 3 and we're going to play a disinformation campaign.
Oh no!
When it enters the battlefield, I draw a card and each opponent discards. And whenever I surveil, I can return it to my hand. So I'll get to draw and you all have to not.
Great. I'm going to discard Savine's Reclamation.
I'll discard Detective of the Month.
I'll discard Branch of Vitu-Gaiza.
Great. That's my turn. No land drop. Sorry, Veggie.
That's what you get.
You want me to have land.
I would much rather you not have a disinformation campaign, so.
Fair, I guess.
Agree with Veggie.
Right?
I'll play this Forest for turn, and we'll pay 4 for Adrix and Nev Twin Casters. It's a 2/2 with Ward 2. If 1 or more tokens would be created under my control, twice that many are created instead. And I'll pass the turn.
You're going to get so many clues.
I'm going to play this Access Tunnel, which can make a creature with power 3 or less unblockable. Again, in anticipation of all of your excellent creatures that you're going to play, I'm going to pay 4 for Frontier Warmonger. It's a 4/4, and all of your creatures have Menace as long as they're not attacking me.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, and mine, so I can hit somebody. Keeper of the Accord, excellent combat creature. I'm going to hit the player with the disinformation campaign. That's for you, Nerd Girl.
How
3.
much?
That's cold. Hitting the player who missed the land drop.
Nerd Girl's so mean.
She is.
Pass the turn.
That's spicy. Right. I mean, I drew a land. It was this mountain. If we're going to keep discarding cards, I'm going to need some card draw. So the Beast Whisper, whenever I cast a creature spell, I draw a card. I could block with 2 creatures now that I have 2. But I could also hit Veggie for 2. Did you think I was attacking you?
Yes.
Wait, I can just block that, right?
Oh, it's only opponents.
Yeah.
I'll take it. It's
I will
fine.
not attack. I will pass the turn.
Well, you get menace when you attack us.
Yeah, I need y'all as buddies right now, though.
What? Now I know who's getting goaded.
That is how you can make me attack somebody else. It's in the rules.
Okay, I'm going to try to hit my land drop instead of playing my commander. I'm going to cast Consider. I get to surveil 1 and then draw a card. It is not a land, so we're going to put it into our graveyard, and I will get to put Disinformation Campaign back into my hand.
Sure do.
Oh, now we find out. Is that the land that's going to make us get dishimfered again?
I will tap 2 for an Arcane Signet, and I have 8 cards in hand, but thankfully I can tap Arcane Signet to cast a Thoughtbound Phantasm. A 2/2 with Defender that says whenever I surveil, I get to put a +1/+1 counter on it, and as long as it has 3 or more counters on it, it can attack as though it didn't have Defender. And then I'll pass.
I guess we're just going to do this. We're going to play a Prairie Stream as land for turn and pay 5 for Tulane, Teller of Tales.
Ooh.
2/4 Vigilance. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card, and then you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. 3 and a tap, return a creature you control to its owner's hand.
Why did I let you take that deck again?
Tulane is in this?
I hear that's a pretty good one.
Do I take out the player with a Tulane, or do I take out the player responsible for putting Tulane in this deck?
Can you take out the Tulane?
I will try to do that.
I think he wants to attack.
I don't know. I'm going to play Myriad Landscape as my land for turn, and then I'm just going to pay 4 for my commander, Nelly Borka, Impulsive Accuser. 2/4 with Vigilance. When Nelly attacks, suspect target creature, then go to all suspected creatures. And a suspected creature has Menace and can block. When 1 or more creatures an opponent controls deals damage to one of my opponents, me and that controller draw a card.
Nelly Borka, you may know Bell Borka. This was designed by Scott Larrabee, and if we let him pill a fort, we're never going to get his life total down.
I'm willing to send the Frontier Warmonger at Airball because I don't think that's getting blocked. And Keeper of the Accord will still get in it, Nerd Girl.
No blocks.
No blocks here.
Yeah. Pass turn.
So do you recognize the name Nelly Borka? Maybe a Bell Borka?
I do. Yeah, I know Belvorka.
I don't actually know the relation, but I know we cracked up at that when it came back from creative.
It's not the Nelly I thought of.
I'll start by, I think, casting my commander with this Gruul Turf. This is cost, Eyes of the Glade. Whenever a creature you control that was turned face up this turn deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And tap. Turn target face down attacking creature I control face up.
And we can help each other out. So now you have incentive to hit people that are, not me, but with some creatures, right?
And I could draw 2 cards because of Nelly Borka.
Yeah.
Draw 1 card from Beast Whisperer for playing my commander. I get to play a Kamigawa card on this channel. I'll take it. I'll play Sakura Tribe Elder. So that will help me ramp in a bit, but I get to draw a card because I played a creature. And then I will just play a Plains for turn. All right, I feel less bad for you now, Nerd Girl, so I'm going to attack you for 2.
How do you feel less bad?
You've ramped a little. I only have 1 Plains up.
I feel like you could flip it or something.
I also have Menace.
Yeah.
You have Menace. I'm taking the 2.
You take 2. We both draw a card?
Yeah.
Great, good turn.
Mm-hmm. Oh, even better turn, because I see 4 creatures to my 3, so I'm going to make 1/1 soldier.
Oh, no.
What have you all done? Pay 3. We're going to try to find that land, and we're going to play the Disinformation campaign again, making each of you discard, and I will draw.
Disinferred again.
I will discard Tessak, Judith's Hellhound.
I'll discard this Wall of Omens.
I'll discard this Merchant of Truth.
I didn't hit a land.
That's what you get for being fake news.
Yeah.
I am done. I will pass the turn.
All right, we'll start here. We'll pay 2 for On the Trail with Jack Kerouac. When you draw your second card each turn, you can put a land from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Then we'll pay 3, and it's time for my commander, Morska Undersea Sleuth. It's a 2/3, no maximum hand size here. Beginning of your upkeep, investigate, and when you draw your second card each turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Morska Undersea Sleuth.
Morska was a deck that we wanted to build around clues, but what do clues do? You can use them as artifacts or some of that here, but the real scary thing is every time he draws a second card, his commander gets bigger and scarier to the table.
So casting Morska is going to trigger Tulane. I'm going to draw a card and maybe put a land onto the battlefield. I'm not going to do that as it turns out. No tokens will be created, so that's going to have to be the turn, I think. I'm not going to send Tulane at Nerd Girl, even for the free attack, I don't think.
But it's funny.
It is funny, but I am concerned that I might need help later dealing with you.
Okay.
Remember this.
I think first I'm going to pay 2 for Tome of Legends. Enters with a page counter on it. Whenever my commander enters the battlefield or attacks, I put another page counter on it, and I can pay 1 to remove counter to draw a card. And I'm going to draw a card. Okay, yeah, I'll just play a Plains for turn, and let's go to combat. Swing Nelly Borka at Nerd Girl, because that is my only good attack with Nelly, and I will swing Frontier Warmonger at Airball. When Nelly attacks, I'm going to suspect Tulane. It now has Menace and cannot block, and will be goaded.
Has double menace.
And Suspect is forever. It's goaded until his next turn. But
Your creatures have Menace against me as well?
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be able to give your own creatures Menace. That's silly. I guess I have no blocks.
It's only 2.
I'll take 4.
Oh, and I do get another counter on Tome of Legends. Last turn.
at the end of your turn, I'm going to sacrifice my Sakura Tribe Elder to fetch a basic from my deck. I get a forest from my deck, enters tap, and I will take my turn. I'm going to double check what this is.
Classic
it was just a
Morph
2/2.
player.
It is just a 2/2. Don't worry about it. I'll play a Canopy Vista for turn. I have...
How do you have so many lands?
Well, it's not like I've been discarding lands or anything.
I have 2. What is happening?
I'm not goaded, but I will attack. So while I can, I'm going to swing this mysterious 2/2 at you. It could be anything.
I'm rightfully suspicious, I think. I'm just going to put this 1/1 soldier in the way.
All right. Well, the 2/2 does beat it, but I'm going to take this opportunity to flip up my 9/9 Crows and Colossus.
Whoa.
Yes.
I think that soldier gets destroyed.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Oh my god, I have not thought about Crows and Colossus for...
Why don't you tell us about Crows and Colossus?
Crows and Colossus. It's a 9/9.
There we go.
That is what it is.
Okay, yeah. I'm not used to that little text being on Magic cards these days.
The rest of the text is just morph. All right. I will tap 2 to morph this face down card. Also just a 2/2. This lets me draw a card. I will tap 3 to play Scroll of Fate. This card lets me tap to manifest any card from my hand. Doesn't even have to have morph, disguise, or any of that. And I will then pass the turn.
At the end of your turn, I will make a soldier since you have 4 creatures.
I see what you did there.
Also, at the end of your turn, I'm going to tap 1 and I'm going to cast Otherworldly Gaze. I get to surveil 3 and it does have flashback. This is also going to put a +1/+1 counter on my Phantasm, and it will return the Disinformation campaign to my hand.
In response, I'm going to flip up my face down morph. It is Onyx Survivalist. When this is turn face up, I may destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls, and I've been discarding way too many cards. Destroy that information. Disinformation campaign.
Dang it, I really thought I was going to get away with that. I held up that Surveil instant speed spell, so that way someone trying to get Disinformation campaign off the board wouldn't be able to do so. I was really not expecting that to happen at Daniel's end step.
You got fact checked. No more fake news.
That's right.
First Surveil into the yard, it's not a land. Second one, Rise of the Dark Realms into the graveyard. And also pile on into the graveyard. Where's the lands? Land. It's a land. Woo! We did it.
Tapped.
Why are you all so mean to me? I'm going to go ahead and play a land for a turn. It's going to be a hostile desert. Taps for a colorless. I can also pay to exile a land from my graveyard, and this will become a 3/4 elemental until end of turn.
How many lands you got in your graveyard right now?
0. I don't know why I looked. I don't know why I was going to.
Can't relate.
We're going to play Mirko, the Obsessive Theorist. It's a 1/3 with flying and vigilance, and whenever I surveil, I get to put a +1/+1 counter on it, and at the beginning of my end step, I may return target creature card with power less than Mirko's from my graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it.
So Gavin Verhey led the design team for this Commander product, specifically the Mirko deck. So I've seen him do some crazy stuff, so we cannot let this get out of hand.
And then I'm going to go ahead and tap 2, and we're going to play a Sinister Starfish. An 0/3 that I can tap to surveil 1. That's going to do it. I am done. Now that I've hit my 3rd land, you guys are in trouble.
I'm kind of surprised that everything on my board lived. In my upkeep, Morska's going to trigger. I'm going to make 1 clue. That'll actually be 2 clues because of Adrix and Nev. Play Skycloud Expanse as my land for turn. We're going to pay 4 for a discounted Thought Monitor. It is a 2/2 with affinity for artifacts. I control 3 artifacts, so it costs 4 instead of 7. And when it ETBs, I draw 2 cards. That will trigger Morska for drawing my 2nd card in the turn. He'll get 2 counters. When I cast Thought Monitor, Trillion will trigger, I'll draw a card. I can put a land onto the battlefield from my hand. I'm going to do that. We'll put this forest into play. On the trail will trigger, but I will not put a land into play. Before combat, I will activate my Suspicious Tulane by paying 3, and I'll bounce the Thought Monitor back to my hand.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
And I'll pass the turn.
At the end of your turn, I will sacrifice Mirrored Landscape and search for 2 lands. Well, clearly NerdGirl is the problem.
Yep.
So
Wait a minute. I'm pretty sure that half of the table is the problem.
yes,
What?
this half of the table.
You have the freaking 9/9 over there, the Beast Whisperer drawing cards every turn.
You know what the 9/9 does, right?
It's a 9/9.
Yeah, Veggie is giving a lot of value to everyone. You're keeping the value to yourself and getting more value from his value.
Veggie's giving me value?
Veggie's, well,
soon.
Your defender has menace.
Yeah, and nobody's blocking Mirko now.
oh, that is Flying Vigilance with Menace.
Yeah.
Fear me.
I do.
All right, I think we're gonna start off. I just want to draw a card.
Don't we all?
I will play a mountain for turn, and I think what I'll have to do is activate Access Tunnel, make Nelly unblockable, so I can get in at Airball. I will swing that at you, and I don't love my other attacks now.
You can suspect anybody's creatures, not just defending player.
Thanks for the tip, Daniel.
Yeah.
I'm going to also swing Frontier Warmonger at you, and I will suspect Beast Whisperer.
Wait a minute. I cannot block because I only have 1 creature that can block.
No effect here.
Okay, so yeah, 2 and 4. I'm going to get a counter on Tome of Legends. Whatever, we'll tap out. I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm also going to play a Sad Robot, search my library for a basic and put it play tapped, and then if it dies, I draw. I'll grab this Plains and ensure that Keeper of the Accord never triggers ever again, and pass turn.
At the end of your turn, I will use the Scroll of Fate to manifest this face down creature. This seems like good value. So I will tap 5 To play a new card, Descana, the Rage Mother. This is a 5-mana 5/5. When she enters the battlefield, I draw a card for each creature I control with base power and toughness 2/2. Whenever a creature I control with base power and toughness 2/2 attacks, it gets +3/+3 until end of turn. So all my 2/2s become 5/5s. So Descana the Rage Mother is perfect for this deck. I have all these 2/2s, so it lets me draw cards, but also they're just 2/2s. The Rage Mother will give them the +3/+3 without spending any mana, and if I do flip them up, they keep that +3/+3.
And it's a bear. That's great.
It is also a bear. It did really well internally, like creatively, that it wanted to be a bear, so we left it a bear, and it makes all your bears huge. All right, so when Descana enters, I draw 2 cards from having 2 2/2s. I also draw a card from having a creature, so I will draw 3 cards. I'll pay 2, play this morph. I draw a card for playing a creature. I'm going to combat and attack with these 3 creatures. These 2 are coming at you, and this will come at Airball. These 2 at Veggie, 1 at Airball. When I attack with my 2/2 creature, it gets +3/+3. So this is a 5/5 currently.
Yikes. Okay, well, I will definitely throw some stuff in front of those. I'll put a soldier here and the Solemn Simulacrum there.
No, I'll take it.
Before damage, I will flip over this manifest. My attacking creatures have Death Touch.
Oh!
This is Oran Frostfang. Attacking creatures you control have Death Touch. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
All right, I mean, my stuff was super dead.
Yep, they both trade. You take 2. I dealt damage to an opponent, so I draw a card from the Oran Frostfang.
Mm-hmm.
I dealt damage to an opponent, so we both draw a card.
Hey, and then I'll draw a card from the Solemn Dying.
This is great.
This is great.
Everyone's drawing cards.
Everybody
Everybody at this table is drawing cards.
Every single player at this table. And hitting land drops.
Yes. Speaking of, I passed.
So if I strangle this one, and you strangle that one, they won't see it coming.
I'll pass my turn to MTGNerdGirl.
At the end of your turn, I'm going to get another soldier.
I get to draw off, so if I hit someone, right? That's still a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any
just not me.
flyers?
I have 0 flyers and I need 2.
I would like to hit you for 1 damage.
I will remember this, but I will take 1 commander damage.
I will get to draw a card. Thanks, Veggie. Appreciate you.
Anytime, I will also draw a card.
I'm going to start by playing a Dogged Detective. It's a 2/1 that says when it enters the battlefield, I can surveil 2. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, I may return this from my graveyard to my hand. So I'll start by surveilling 2. I will put them both into the graveyard, a land and a Phyrexian Arena. And now that I've surveilled, I will get to put a counter onto my commander and 1 onto my phantasm. Now that I have Dogged Detective out on the battlefield, I'm able to surveil a bunch of cards into my graveyard, which my commander really wants. I have other cards in my hand that really want cards in the graveyard, and I have chump blockers for Daniel, thankfully, because Airball's drawing 2 cards every turn and I get to bring it back. I'm going to play a Swamp for turn, and I'm going to pay 4 to kick an Everflowing Chalice twice. It comes into play with 2 charge counters on it, and I can add colorless for each charge counter on it. And that will be my turn.
At the end of your turn, Nerd Girl, I'm going to Path to Exile the Tulane.
Look, he's innocent until proven guilty, okay?
He's been suspected twice.
Fine.
You do get to search your deck for a basic land, though, and put it into play tapped.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My commander survived, so we're going to make a further 2 clues.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Adrix and Nev.
All it does is let him draw cards.
Right. How bad can it be?
We're all drawing cards. All 4 of us.
I'm just going to go ahead and pay 2 for Thought Monitor. This time discounted by 5, because I control 5 artifacts. We'll draw 2 cards.
I'm glad I got rid of that Tulane now, though. This loop is silly.
That's true. On the trail triggers, because I've drawn my second card in the turn. And I will put this Lonely Sandbar onto the battlefield tapped. And Morska will also trigger. And I will put 2 +1/+1 counters on her. I don't have any decisions to make now because Tulane's gone, so I'll pass.
Okay, I'm going to play a War Room, pay 3, and tap it, and pay life equal to my colors to draw a card.
20 turn clock, let's go.
Right. I mean, I might as well draw a card. I'm going to use the War Room to activate Tome of Legends. Yeah, nice. Okay, exactly what we needed. More mana. I'll pay 2 for a Talisman of Conviction. And 1, 2, 3. Activate Access Tunnel. Make Nelly unblockable. I guess just send this at Airball, and I'll just kill you with commander damage.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm not blocking.
Can't.
Who are you suspecting on that?
That's the question. Daniel, your stuff is likely to swing anyway, but they have been coming at me more recently. But
It's just a 9/9.
Right.
Sometimes that does touch if it's attacking, but
I do kind of want Morska to get in the red zone. So
This is the real disinformation campaign.
the sigh heard around the world, though.
They're being very mean to us, Airball.
I know.
Yeah, they are.
yeah, they are.
I have no effects.
Okay, you take 2 commander damage.
Commander damage. My creatures are too valuable to stop Veggie's attackers, and he knows it, so he keeps attacking me. But I think that actually works to my advantage because it lowers my life total and makes Daniel not send his huge threats over at me.
And then why not? The last thing I'll do on my turn, pay 1, 2, 3, 4 Agitator Ant. I like this card. It's a 2/2. Beginning of your end step, each player may put 2+1/+1 counters on the creature they control. And like, if you happen to decide to do that, it's also goated. We'll just make the Warmonger a little bigger.
All right, I think this is pretty easy for me to put this on my already goated Beast Whisperer.
Yes, I will indeed put 2 counters onto Mirko.
I will put 2 counters on Adrix and Ned.
Oh, this is great. This is great.
And this is the end of your turn, so it's time for Skull of Fate to put something face down. This will be manifested. It could be anything.
It could be anything.
If it's a creature, I can turn it face up for its mana cost. Or, other ways. I'll play a Cinderglade untapped. And then I will tap 2, I'll use the Gruul Turf, to play Trail of Mystery. Whenever a face down creature I control enters the battlefield, I may search my library for a basic land and put it into my hand. Whenever a permanent is turned face up, if it's a creature, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. I think it's time to attack. I think I've made my decision, and I'm going to be very mean to Veggie, who's been mean to all of us equally. These 5 are attacking you. When my 2/2 creatures attack, they get +3/+3 until end of turn.
Great.
So all my creatures are attacking Death Touch. Airball, the Beast Whisperer, will come at you.
I have no blocks.
Well, it is a 9/9, so I'm going to put this soldier in front of it. And you know what? We're going to find out what you got. That is my only block.
We're going to pause. Do I kill you?
Do I kill you?
What's your life total?
40?
Daniel doing calculus over there or something.
What kind of new math is happening?
He's doing like a Sudoku over there or something. I don't know what it is.
But to be clear, it is like a rectangle of numbers to calculate if I am dead.
You made me lose my spot. Okay. I can't kill you.
Good. That's good news.
It's unfortunate.
I can mortally wound you, though.
I can hit him in the air with something pretty big.
Oh, we're wanting to kill Veggie.
No, I was just letting you know. Veggie has been mean to me.
Us.
You can't hit me with that, though. It's goated.
So you've declared 1 blocker.
That is my 1 blocker.
I will use cost to flip up Hooded Hydra. When Hooded Hydra is turned face up, it gets 5 +1/+1 counters on it. The other relevant text is when it dies, I create a 1/1 green snake for each 1/1 counter on it. So it will get 5 counters.
Okay.
It also was a creature turning face up, so it gets another +2/+2. So that is 7, and it got the +3/+3 when it attacked from the bear. So this is a 10/10 Hydra.
All right. I think this is the best that I'm going to get for it.
Oh,
I'm going to pay 2.
Oh,
So a red and a white.
Are you going to put a palm in my face?
Talk to the hand.
I would like to deflect that 10 damage back to you.
Unfortunately, I know every card in these decks and predicted that now. This isn't quite how I wanted to play this card, but I think I am going to use a new card I designed to stop me from taking 10 damage.
That feels like cheating.
I designed this real quick. All right, this is a new card called Unexplained Absence. For each player, I can exile up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls. For each permanent exiled this way, its controller cloaks the top card of their library. So I get to exile 1 of any non-land thing we each control, and we get a cloaked, basically manifest top card of your deck.
What is the difference between cloak and manifest?
This cloak creature will have ward 2.
Okay.
I am going to target my Hooded Hydra, so I don't take 10 damage. But I can also answer 3 of the other problematic cards on the board. I will target with my Unexplained Absence the Everflowing Chalice, the Adrix and Nev of Airball, and the Keeper of the Accord on Veggies.
And they come in as manifests?
Yep, and they will come in as the cloak.
Adrix and Nev does have ward too.
I had forgotten that. I will choose your commander instead, if that's okay.
Okay. Commander will go to the command zone.
So you take 10, and Airball, you took 4.
I have not taken that yet.
Okay. You've said no blocks.
Said no blocks. Yeah. No, I will take 4.
All right. I draw some number of cards here. Attacking creatures dealt damage to players. I will draw 4 cards.
Yes, and then one more.
And then one more. So I will draw 5 cards, which is fantastic. Veggie, you may draw 1 card because your own card says it.
Thank you.
It's so nice having a full grip of cards. And I will play this face down morph. This lets me draw a card from my something.
Your beast was just completely covered in things.
Yeah, he's whispering into things. Whenever a face down creature enters the battlefield under my control, I may search my library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it into my hand, and then shuffle. I'll fetch a plains. And then I will pass turn. I've got my engine rolling. I have Obscuring Aether, Trail of Mystery, and Scroll of Fate. I can do whatever I want with these face down creatures, and at instant speed with Scroll of Fate. 7 cards in hand.
On your end step, I'm going to use my Starfish. I'm going to go ahead and just put this into my graveyard. It is a creature that I would be able to get back with my commander. And when I surveil, I'll get to put some counters on stuff, and then I will go to my upkeep. So much bad is happening here.
I agree. Veggie's being very mean to us.
Well, I honestly, I still kind of am. Yeah. So
I'm going to go ahead and move to combat. And Daniel, I'm going to attack you for 5 in the air.
It is getting bigger now. I will take 5. I have 0 flyers.
Use my Starfish before blocks. I will keep it. And you will indeed take 6.
and then you get to draw that card.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
And I will also draw a card.
Thanks. I'll get to play a land for turn. Thanks, Veggie. All right. Well, I'm going to be really sad about it, but I'm going to tap everything.
Oh God.
And be 1 short of what I wanted to do. But a couple more things will survive. We're going to play a Black Sun Zenith.
Wow.
For X is 5. So each creature will get 5 -1/-1 counters put onto it, and I will shuffle Black Sun. I was trying to kill the Death Touch thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was the bar that I wanted, was Death Touch thing dead.
Yeah, 0/1 will not do much death touching.
No, but the 9/9 still will. And everything else.
You mean the 4/4?
What's the counters on them?
I figured you wouldn't mind because you were drastically
No, you probably
behind.
mind. You probably mind.
Yeah, you want to counter those.
Yeah.
Well, in response, I'm going to pay 4 and cast Disorder in the Court, X = 2. And I'm going to target Adrix and Nev and Thought Monitor. Exile X target creatures and then investigate X times. Return them to the battlefield tapped under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step.
Nice.
Okay, so these guys are going on a little trip. I'll get 2 more clues. And yeah, go ahead and put your counters on stuff.
Okay, so this will resolve. 3 of my things will die.
My Warmonger does live through 5. It'll be a 1.
What happens to my face down manifest?
It will die and go face up in the graveyard.
Face up in the graveyard. Okay.
So I will remove 4 of the counters from my Phantasm, get a -1, and then my Mirko will just have 0 counters now.
Right. I will lose a lot of things. The bear, my commander. This morph, which was an Imperial Hellkite.
Oh.
This mysterious creature, which was a plains. This morph, which was Master of Pearls, which is why I was doing so much math against you, because when this is turn face up, all creatures I control get +2/+2.
Oh.
The math has gotten significantly easier.
Beast Whisperer, unfortunately, just barely dies. Right, so both of those will get -5, -5. Still a 4/4. And you had Endear Kraken as your face down. You could have exiled that with your Disorder in the Court.
Oh, is that how Cloak works?
Yeah, were you saving your mana for anything else?
My plan was just to crack the clue, but if I had known it would come back, then I definitely...
it would come back as the Nadir Kraken.
Okay, then let's retroactively pay an extra 1 and cast Disorder in the court for one more.
Right. That gives you one more clue.
One more clue. Yep.
All right, so the board looks a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and move to my end step, and I do have something that has less than 1 power for my commander. So my Sinister Starfish is going to get to come back in and continue to be awesome.
You know what
Star
else?
of your deck.
You know what else is going to come back in on your end step? All this garbage.
We were friends, remember?
We were friends, and I appreciate that. So we'll have Adrix and Nev come in, Thought Monitor come in, Nadir Kraken come in. Thought Monitor has an ETB trigger. I'll draw 2 cards. Nadir Kraken says whenever I draw a card, I can pay 1. If I do, put a +1/+1 counter on the Kraken and make a tentacle. I'll pay the 1 extra mana that I have to make that tentacle and put a counter on. So we have another tentacle here in play from Adrix and Nev, doubling the enter the battlefield trigger for the token. And on the trail will also trigger because I drew 2 cards off the Thought Monitor this turn, so I can put a land card from my hand onto the battlefield tapped. But we're not doing that.
Whenever a player draws their second card for turn, even if it's my turn, I get to put the Dog Detective back into my hand.
Value.
Ooh.
I don't like what just happened. on
I'm
that side of the
not a
table.
fan of, yeah.
They're so mean to the side of the
to
table.
the side of the table.
I'll draw a card, and Nadir Kraken will trigger. Yeah, I'll pay 1 to put another counter on the Kraken and make 2 more tokens. So 2 of these will be not summoning sick. I'll play this Temple of Enlightenment tapped as my land for turn. I get to scry 1. That's going to the bottom. Let's pay 3 for a Magnifying Glass. It's a mana rock, and I can pay 4 to tap it and investigate, make a clue. All right, I think I agree with Daniel's logic from previous turns about how if we let Veggie build the pillow fort, then bad things will happen to us. So I'm going to send the 2 not summoning sick tentacles 1/1s at Veggie, and I'll also send the Thought Monitor in the air at Veggie.
All right, I can't do anything. I'm not gonna block with this. So we'll take 4.
4, and that'll be my turn.
I'm gonna pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Kazul, Tyrant of the Cliffs. A 5/4. Whenever a creature an opponent attacks, if it's at me, I make a 3/3 unless you pay 3 mana.
I feel vindicated.
About that pillow fort.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay 3 for Boros Reckoner. When it's dealt damage, it deals that much to any target, and I can pay 1 to give it first strike. This Boros Reckoner is much more dangerous than anybody realizes. It redirects damage from itself to another target, but I have a way to redirect damage from me to it, so I just have to get somebody to swing out. I might as well activate Tome of Legends and draw a card. It's only 1 damage. You know, what could it do? Daniel, this Frontier Warmonger with Menace is headed your way.
I will take 1.
Yeah, I don't know.
No effects?
No effects.
Got me.
And that's all. I'll just pass.
All right. At the end of your turn, I will use my Scroll of Fate to put this card face down as a manifest. And when a face down creature enters the battlefield under my control, I can search for a basic land. I will grab this mountain to my hand. Then I will also pay 2 to cycle Scattered Groves to draw a card. Right. I'll play the all-powerful Command Tower for turn.
Oh, they put those in here? Man.
Things have a minute. Oh, if I attack you, we have to pay 3 or we get.
That's right.
All right. It looks like you win, Nerd Girl. I will attack you with this 4/4 Krosan Colossus, not a 9/9 anymore. And this 2/2 could be anything.
No blocks.
You will take 4 + 2. I will get 2 triggers off the Orin Frostfang to draw 2 cards. I think it's my turn to clean up the board a little. So I will tap 6 and play Austere Command. I will choose both of the creature modes. So I am basically playing Wrath of God, destroying all creatures.
That's sad. I can't do anything about it.
He must be stopped, and this gets rid of a lot of your pillow fort. Realizing I played this into 5 open mana with a blue player, so I'm a little worried, but
That's fine.
all right.
Ooh.
That's sad.
My face down card was the Plains. So it's neat with Scroll of Fate. I can put a Plains into play, and then Trail of Mysteries, just go get another basic land. I'm not even going down on cards. I think I'm just going to pay 4 to play my commander. Pass turn, and I have to discard the hand size. I'll discard Sacred Peaks.
I have to discard hand size.
We're all drawing cards equally.
Yeah.
You're bragging that you don't have a maximum hand size, right? That's
No,
what it is.
I'm not. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just replay my commander with some commander attacks. And I will replay the Dogged Detective. When he comes in, I get to Surveil 2, which will also trigger and put a counter onto my commander. I will put one on top, and I'll put a Swamp into the graveyard. And that will do it, but I will get a counter onto my commander for the trigger, and I don't have any creatures with 1 power, so I will end the turn.
On your end step, I will pay 4 to activate the magnifying glass and investigate.
He's not cracking his clues.
I know.
Which makes me really worried.
Right? 8 clues and decides I need another clue.
I don't think you guys have anything to worry about. I think it'll be just fine. Play this Spire of Industry as my land for turn. And we'll start things off by paying 2 for Lawless Cryptozoologist. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under my control, I investigate, tap and sacrifice X clues. Target opponent reveals the top X cards of their library. You may put a non-land permanent with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield under your control.
Wow.
This 2-mana creature doesn't look like much, but when I untap with her, I'm going to sacrifice 12 clues, gain 36 life, and get the best card out of someone's deck under my control. I just need to get there. And let's pay 3 more for a Graph Mole. It's a 2/4. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, you gain 3 life.
That's worse to me.
And when the Graph Mole comes into play, then I will make another clue from Lannis. 2 more for Idol of Oblivion. Artifact, tap to draw a card, activate if I created a token. 8 and a tap, sack it, make a 10/10 Eldrazi. And then I will tap it to draw a card since I created a clue this turn. And I'll pass to Veggie.
Nobody has like a really spicy creature in the graveyard right now, right?
I have a 9/9.
See, that is actually very relevant.
Are you taking my 9/9?
Oh no.
Oh, I know what you're doing.
I'm not.
Oh no. I'm taking the 9/9.
You are taking the 9/9. I'm going to pay 2, and I'm going to play Immortal Obligation. Return target creature card from an opponent's graveyard to the battlefield with a duty counter. For as long as that creature has a duty counter on it, it's goaded, can't attack me or permanent I control, and can't block creatures I control. So, Daniel, that 9/9 is coming back. I'll even do, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to flash back Savine's Reclamation. So I will return a permanent with cost 3 to the battlefield, and I copy it because I flashed it back. So my targets are Boros Reckoner and Agitator Ant.
Nah, screw that. I'm going to pay 5, and I'm going to confirm my suspicions about you, Veggie. It's a 5-mana cancel. Investigate 3 times. I'm going to counter the Reclamation that's targeting the Reckoner.
All right, that's fine.
And I'll make 3 more clues.
And I got 6 mana left. Let's just replay Whoa Nelly here.
Whoa.
Whoa Nelly. Counter on Tome of Legends as well. And passing my end step, Agitator Ant will trigger. Each player may put 2 counters on a creature, and if they do, it's goaded.
Yes, please.
I think it's likely I can get a Nelly attack in, so I'll put 2 counters there.
I will put 2 counters on my already goaded Crozen Colossus.
Crap.
Excellent.
Crap.
I'll put 2 counters and a goad on my Lannis.
I will also use my Scroll of Fate to manifest this card from my hand. It could be anything. When a face down creature enters, I fetch a basic land. I'm also going to take this chance to see if I have how many basics I have left in this deck. So this costs 6 mana for sure. And play Temur War Shaman. So when Temur War Shaman enters the battlefield, I manifest the top card in my library. And whenever a permanent I control is turned face up, if it's a creature, I may have it fight a creature I don't control.
Oh,
So this becomes manifested.
it could be anything.
Crozen Colossus will not attack Veggie as much as it wants to. Yeah, I'm going to attack Airball with Crozen Colossus. My manifested creature, I will double check what its stats are. I mean, it could just be a land. Manifested creature will attack you, Nerd Girl.
I will declare blocks with the Dogged Detective.
So it is an 11/11.
It is an 11/11. No trample.
Yeah, just an 11/11.
I'll take it.
Surprise.
Flip this up. Sidar Kondo of Jamora is flanking. We don't need to get into that right now. Creatures your opponents control without flying or reach can't block creatures with power 2 or less. You have already blocked it. It does get +2/+2 when it turns face up. So it is a 4/7. But I also get to fight something because it was a creature that was turned face up. I think I'm going to fight your Cryptologist.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then the dog detective will go into the graveyard.
And you
Did not block.
did not block the 11.
Right. So I will take 11.
No complaints there. Disguise this card.
Which guys?
Disguise. And I will morph.
Jeez.
So we have a lot of returning face down mechanics this set. There's Morph and Manifest, which are essentially the same thing. I can turn it face up if it's a creature, but the new one, a mysterious creature from the cloak mechanic, is essentially that, but it also has Ward 2, so that can stop opponents messing with my strategy. Oh, I have 2 Trail of Mysteries. I know I only have 1 forest left in my deck, so I will get that forest. And then I will fail to find on the second trigger.
I'm going to try to save the day, I think. It's not good.
I didn't think the day was in trouble.
Yeah.
And we're going to cast Charnel's Serenade. It's a sorcery that says Surveil 3, then return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. I get to exile this with 3 time counters on it. So let's go ahead and start by surveilling 3. I will also get a counter onto my commander. I will put everything into the graveyard. Sir Conrad, a Lazov, and a Mindstone.
Sir Conrad and Lazav are in the deck.
I'll get 3 time counters, and I think we're going to get Sir Conrad back onto the battlefield with a finality counter. Sir Conrad says whenever another creature dies or a creature is put into the graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature card leaves the graveyard, Sir Conrad deals 1 damage to each opponent. I can pay 2 and use it to mill a card from each player.
I sure would hate to be at 11 life right now with Sir Conrad out.
I'm going to go ahead and go to combat. Daniel, I'm coming in for 5.
I will take 5.
Commander
damage. You're getting me with that commander damage.
And you can draw a card.
I do get to draw a card. That's great.
I wish I was drawing cards.
I will get a colorless land for turn, a Rogue's Passage. And I'm going to go ahead and move to my end step. And what I'm going to do with the Mirko trigger is I'm going to get back the Amphin Mutineer. It's a 3/3 that says when it enters the battlefield, I can exile up to 1 non-salamander creature. Its owner gets a 3/4 blue salamander warrior creature token. And I think we're going to hit the 11/11 with Goad.
No!
The fact that you both said it so perfectly makes me happy with my decision.
He was such a good boy.
I have
this
helped you a
whole
lot.
game.
It's so much work.
9/9. That's all he is.
He's a 9/9.
11/11 goaded,
Yeah.
but who's counting? Exiled.
When Amphin comes into play, it'll have left the graveyard, so everybody will take 1 for Sir Conrad.
Half the table is upset with your action.
Yes. You're being so mean to this half the table.
Wait a minute.
And then I will pass the turn.
We're going to start in the most boring way possible. We're going to crack a clue and draw a card.
He's finally cracking a clue.
And you gain life.
I do. I will gain 3 life from the Graph Mole. Draw my second card for the turn. On the trail triggers, and I will put a land card from my hand onto the battlefield tapped. Be this other planes.
I will get the dog detective back off of your second draw.
Sure.
That's a Sir Conrad trigger as well.
Oh, yeah. And then you guys will all take a point of damage from Sir Conrad. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
5 more to bring back Morska. And I think that's probably where I have to leave it for the turn.
I'm going to play this Scavenger Grounds as my land for turn. I can sacrifice a desert to exile all graveyards. I don't think I'll be doing that.
Please no.
Ooh, is there one of those in my deck? That'd be cool.
Oh, I hope not. I think I'm going to start and make sure I'm not tempted to use this at all, and I'm going to draw a card. Oh, all right. This will get things moving.
Mountain.
I'm going to play Fiendish Duo. It is a 5/5 with first strike, And if a source would deal damage to an opponent, it deals double that damage instead. Double damage is already exactly what my deck wants, but it's also going to set me up for a hilariously explosive next turn. Things are about to get hot in her. Yikes.
Oh, Sir Conrad says damage too.
Yeah.
So you would take 1 and they would both take 2. I'll let that resolve without activating Sir Conrad.
Oh, you do have that mana up. And the blue player does have 5 mana up.
Nelly. Whoa. Is a 4/6 that needs to swing. Yeah, I think that's pretty clear where a 4/6 can go and not die. So, Airball, this is for you. And I don't think I think it's my only attack.
Who are you suspecting?
Let's suspect. It's you, Mirko.
All right.
So it's a 4/6. That's effectively an 8/6 coming at me, right? Before I make any decisions, I'm going to pay 2, and I'll crack one of these clues. Trigger Graphimal. Gonna pay 2 more. Crack another clue. Trigger.
It's getting ready to take that 8.
I'm considering it. That is my second card for the turn. So Morsko will trigger. We'll put 2 +1/+1 counters on her. So that'll get her up to a 4/5, which we'll be able to block without dying, which is great. I'm going to pay the last 2 mana, crack the last clue, because I don't want anything happening in response here. Down to 8 clues. Gain 3 more, draw, and go to blocks.
Okay.
Morska will jump in front of Nelly.
Honestly, I just wanted you to tap out because I didn't want this to get countered. I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this card is fantastic. I'm going to play Prisoner's Dilemma. Each opponent secretly chooses Silence or Snitch, and then the choices are revealed. If each opponent chose Silence, Prisoner's Dilemma deals 4 to each of them. If each opponent chose Snitch, it deals 8 to each of them, but otherwise it deals 12 damage to each opponent who chose Silence.
This is the Prisoner's Dilemma.
Wait.
So at minimum, we all shut up. We each take 4, which is doubled
to 8.
So it's 8. If one of us betrays, then
The silencers take 12, doubled to 24.
right.
And that person takes nothing.
Doubled to 24.
So anyone here can say no. Like one of us can snitch, and that would guarantee the 3 of us die.
No, we'll guarantee 2 out of the 3 of you die because the snitch takes no damage.
Right.
Unless everybody snitches and then you take 16.
Is at least on table everybody okay with Silence? And then if you're going to be a cheater face, then that's a snitcher.
It's not a cheater face.
It's a snitcher face.
That's the Prisoner's Dilemma.
You have no stake involved in this.
I like the 8 option, so I'm gonna say Silence. I'm gonna hope you guys do too.
All right, are we ready to reveal?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's see it.
I snitched.
So we are dead.
Yep.
Yes.
So that's 24 to both of us.
24 to both of you.
I will take 0.
I definitely didn't want to snitch and kill Airball, but looking at the board, Daniel had the best opportunity to win, so there's really no reason that he wouldn't snitch there. So I guess the correct move would have been talking Airball into also snitching, so that way we all take 16. There's no reason that Daniel would have switched to Silence if Airball and I agreed to snitch, but I learned my lesson for next time, Daniel.
And suddenly I have 1 target in this game.
Oh my God. Okay, well,
Hi, friend.
hello. I can't believe that NerdGirl will be so mean to this half the table.
I know, right? But here we are. Kindness pays off.
I'll move to my end step. Would you like to put 2 counters on something that is then go to
100%. I will put 2 counters on this.
Whatever that is.
I will also activate my Scroll of Fate, putting in this manifested creature.
Maybe I should have had a better plan for when it got down to 2 players, because suddenly Goad and Nelly's draw ability don't work the way that I want them to.
Do you have any flyers?
I do not have any flyers.
You cannot block my 2/2 creatures unless you have flying or reach.
Right.
I'm gonna full send Mathis for blockers except my commander. The creatures you can't block are these 4 over here. Right, so I have attacked with these creatures.
Okay.
Before blocks,
Okay.
I'm going to use cost to flip over this morph. It is a Chroma, Angel of Fury. This spell can't be countered. It has flying, trample, protection from white and from blue, and has fire breathing, where she can get +1/+0 for each red mana I put into her. And she is currently an 8/8 flyer, but because I flipped her face up, she is now a 10/10 flyer. Oh, and I had a creature flip face up, so I get to fight something with my Akroma.
Great.
Akroma will fight the Fiendish Duo.
Uh-oh. Okay, yep. That's gonna die.
We can go to blocks now.
I declare no blocks.
Oh, no. I count 26 coming your way. No effects.
I'm gonna pay 1. I'm gonna play Gideon's Sacrifice. Choose a creature or planeswalker you control. All damage that would be dealt this turn to you and permanents you control is dealt to the chosen permanent instead.
Goodbye, Ant.
Goodbye, Ant.
No responses.
All right. Well, I'll deal all that damage to the Agitator Ant.
I will pay 1 white mana to flip over a new card called True Identity. It says whenever True Identity or another permanent I control is turned face up, scry 1 and then draw a card. This triggers only once each turn and it has disguise for 1 white. So this was not a creature the whole time. So I will scry 1. Oh, this is a really sweet new card. I'm going to leave that on top.
Okay.
I will draw it. Tap 4. Veiled Ascension. When it enters the battlefield, I put a flying counter on each face down creature I control. Face down creatures I control enter the battlefield with a flying counter on them. At the beginning of my upkeep, that used to say in step, you may cloak the top card of your library. So I will not get one this turn, but next turn I will. And then how much should I commit to the board? I will not play other spells. I will pass the turn.
It's still not a great position for me, but not dead is better than the alternative. Start off, I'll pay 1 and draw a card. I'll play a command tower as my land for turn. I'll pay 1 for a Soul Snare. It's an enchantment. I can pay 1 and sacrifice it to exile an attacking creature. I figure you are going to be drawing some cards at some point, so I'll also Smuggler Share. Beginning of each end step, I draw a card for each opponent who drew 2, and make a treasure for each opponent that had 2 or more lands enter. Finally, what I need most right now is more ramp. I'll play a Mindstone, and you at least don't have blockers right now, right?
I do have a Scroll of Fate, and my Obscuring Aether could turn down as a 2/2 creature.
I'll go to combat.
Okay.
I will swing with Nelly. I will suspect, I don't know.
Probably Chulane.
I think Chulane, yeah. I can't suspect a Chroma. It's protection from white.
Correct. You cannot sell Snare or Chroma either, more importantly.
Oh, that's okay.
But I think you have other problems on the board to worry about.
Yeah. I'll put this on cost, your commander, so that
Oh, that's neat.
if you have tricks, you got to show them to me first, and then you have 4 headed your way.
Okay, I will turn my Obscuring Aether face down as a 2/2, and I will block with my 2/2.
Okay. I'll pass the turn.
I will use my Scroll of Fate once more. I don't think I need to get the token out because I'm also just going to flip it immediately. Oh, this is amazing. It's a flying squirrel.
Yes.
Toski, Bearer of Secrets, can't be countered, indestructible. I was thinking about blocking with this, but it attacks each combat if able, and whenever a creature I control deals combat damage to a player, I draw a card. So I have the True Identity trigger when Toski flips up. That lets me scry 1. I will leave that on top and draw it. Okay. At the beginning of my upkeep, now I get to cloak the top card of my library. Oh, yep, and that also gets a flying counter. This cannot attack this turn then. All right, I don't see any reason to not go to attacks. And I will swing out at you. No creature except this newly placed mysterious creature left behind.
I will again declare no blocks.
Does he have another Deflecting Palm or another Gideon Sacrifice? Who knows? Go to damage.
I am going to flash in Selfless Squire.
Oh my gosh. He's playing all of my favorite cards to stop me.
When Selfless Squire enters the battlefield, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you this turn, and whenever damage would be dealt to you is prevented, put that many counters on it. So how much damage is that?
That's quite a lot. 24 damage?
24 damage. I'm going to put 24 counters on Selfless Squire.
You sure are. I will tap 6. Neheb the Eternal.
Oh.
It's a 5 mana 4/6, a flick 3. And at the beginning of my post-combat main phase, add 1 red for each 1 life my opponents have lost this turn.
Oh, okay.
I will pass turn after that.
At the end of your turn, I will at least crack Mind Stone and draw a card. And now we just draw an unblockable something off the top, and South Esquire gets in. I'll pay 1. I'm going to draw a card. 3 and tap War Room, and pay 2 life and draw a card. I will pay 7 for Angel of the Ruins. 5/7 flyer. When it enters, I exile up to 2 target artifacts or enchantments. I'm going to target Scroll of Fate and True Identity.
All right, in response, I will use the Scroll of Fate to manifest this card. Then I will also unmanifest this new card. This is Nervous Gardener. When she's turned face up, I search my library for a land card with a basic land type, reveal it, put it in my hand, and then shuffle. I have no more of those in the deck. But because I flipped a creature face up, I get to scry 1 and draw a card. I will put that on bottom. Then I will have no more effects, and these 2 are destroyed. This will get +2/+2 when it's turned face up, and then I may have it fight something as well.
Oh.
I will choose to not fight anything.
I'll go to combat. I will attack with Nelly. I mean, South Esquire doesn't block enough creatures, so I might as well send that as well. And then I will suspect Neheb.
He is suspected and goaded. I will block your 24/24 with this mysterious creature, and I will take 4 commander damage, going to 17. My mysterious creature will die. It was a Sungrass Prairie.
Ugh. The last thing I can do here, I think, is I'll pay 3, and I will put a Vow of Duty on a Chroma.
Isn't it pro white?
It's got pro white.
I will not do that. I guess we'll put this on Neheb. I need to just not, I need more things that can attack me. So yeah, I'll put it on Neheb. So it gets +2/+2 vigilance, but can't attack me. I will pass the turn.
All right. At the beginning of my upkeep, I get to cloak the top card of my deck. And I do realize that this is supposed to be a cloak from last round. So I will go ahead and replace that helper card. Surely you can't stop this attack one more time.
I have Deflecting Palm mana.
I will pay 3 to place this face down. I will fail to find. I will go to combat.
Okay.
You're at 22.
At 22.
These creatures are attacking you. These three are not.
I'll have Angel of the Ruins in front of your Temur War Shaman, Nele.
Whoa.
In front of the Salamander, and I am out of blockers.
I will pump a Chroma 3 times, giving her +3 power up to 22 damage coming your way.
I will pay 1. I'm going to activate Soul Snare. I'm going to exile Tusky because exile. Yeah. Get that flying squirrel out of here. But I don't have any other response to that. So I'm dead if you decide to pump Chroma.
I pump a Chroma.
Yeah. That's the game.
Good game.
Good game.
Couldn't you have done that and blocked?
Cut that.
Yeah, don't tell people I'm bad at Magic.
If the show was just dice rolls, then I would be like 100%.
You'd find a way to lose.
Yeah, we need
Victory! We got there in the end. I turned a lot of creatures sideways that game, but thanks to Veggie's Prisoner's Dilemma, it made it a lot easier to focus all my aggression toward one player.
Moxfield is the best deck list site available. It has everything you need to customize, compare, and collaborate. View and brew the way that works for you. Moxfield is the only way that we can track and share all of our spiciest builds here on the show, and whatever Veggie is playing. Make sure to follow our Moxfield profile in the link in the description.
My friends are so mean to me. It's absurd, actually.
we are too.
Okay, yes.
Don't you try to rules me.
Yeah, whatever. I'm dead, sure. But the game theory nerd in me has to talk about the card Prisoner's Dilemma. Normally, Prisoner's Dilemma, not that interesting a problem. You always defect. But this is not the normal Prisoner's Dilemma. Normally, you don't play twice. This card has flashback, and you're probably going to play with your friends again in the future, so you need to keep that in mind when you make your defect decisions. And also, normally, the two prisoners don't actually care about hurting each other, but it's in my best interest to make sure Daniel gets hurt here. Also, I really need to keep NerdGirl alive, because if she's not, then I don't think think I can beat either Veggie or Daniel. So I think the best thing for me to do there was to be silent, even though it ended up killing me.
Ultimate Guard is the industry leader in MTG accessories. We love their stuff, and we know you will too. Make sure to use the link in the description so they know we sent you.
What kind of counter?
A duty counter.
Duty counter.
One more time.
It's a duty counter.
What kind of vow was it?
A vow of duty. All right.
Children. Even though my deck had a bit of a rough performance, it still got to do a ton of cool things. I dealt with heavy threats, I cleared the board, I recurred creatures out of my graveyard, and all of this with my hands tied behind my back, only hitting 2 mana in the top 21 cards. So all in all, I'm really happy with it. Even though I bullied the entire table, I think this was a good game.
Coolstuffinc is the best place to pick up anything from sealed product to singles. Make sure to use our brand new code MNG5 for 5% off your order.
Getting handsy over there.
Right? The code goes away?
It goes away, yeah.
Boo.
I'll keep that one. The irony is not lost on me that 2 players were eliminated by the Nelly deck playing a card called Dilemma.
We'd like to take a minute to thank our patrons. Without your support, this show wouldn't be possible.
And while it is possible, we could make it almost extra more possible if you were more possible. Help us good, because we are 50% towards our goal to bring the show to weekly episodes forever. And we just need a little more help.
Yep, so you can sign up for our Patreon, help us with that goal, or become a member here on YouTube. That will also contribute towards that goal to help us hire a new editor. You can unlock exclusive perks like bonus member content, signed tokens, spell table games with us, and even submit your own deck list for us to play here on the show.
And after a long game of turning creatures sideways, I was able to manifest victory. That's for the bloopers reel, right? Like, we're not gonna shove that in the middle. No. If you want some more behind the scenes look at how I make magic cards and maybe some Kamigawa fandom here and there, follow me on Twitter at I'm Daniel Holt.
And of course, you can always support us by liking the video if you liked it and clicking subscribe if you really liked it. That's it. That's it for today's episode. We will see you next time on Decked Out.